Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin. She's Nikki.
Hi.
And if you're new here, this is a podcast about whatever we want it to be about. So, each week we come up with a topic, and we talk about that topic. So, if you don't like it, then, well, that's just too bad. Let us know below. Give us a comment on what else you want to hear us talk about. And, I'm sure we will talk about it because we will talk about just about anything because it's more about
Yeah.
a conversation between us and just having fun than it is anything else. So if you like hanging out with friends, that's kind of what this is. But anyway, Nick, this week, what is what happened? What happened on this week? This day in history? Anything interesting that happened on this day in history?
Several things.
Several things.
So, in this day in 1948, Truman defeated Dewey, which is significant for our state.
The big
Love
paper,
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dewey defeats Truman. Such an iconic picture. And I love, they have that plastered on a whole wall at the Truman Museum. It's amazing. So there was that. And then in 1983, on this day, President Ronald Reagan declared MLK Day a federal holiday.
Oh,
so
nice.
1983 was when, on this day, when it was first declared.
Okay.
And then the last thing I thought was interesting, in 2000, November 2nd, 2000, the first residential crew arrived on the International Space Station. So definitely a new era of space travel.
Yeah. And that's going to be coming down, I think, before too long, too. I think...
Is it?
I think the space station has almost reached the end of its...
of its life.
Of its lifespan. And I don't think it's going to be up there much longer.
Interesting. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see with state of affairs in the world today. Because, so when it was first created, it says it was US, Russia, Canada, Japan, and Europe are the ones that agreed to initially cooperate for the ISS. So it'd be interesting with everything going on in the world, who would be the new group to
well, I mean, all those...
be able to compromise on that.
All those countries still work together. I mean, even though we don't get along really with Russia, Russians still work together with the U.S. on the space station.
Yeah.
So space is still a weird one that kind of works together. The only one that doesn't really work with anybody else is China. They kind of do their own little thing. But everybody else seems to kind of work together for the most part.
Yeah. You know what I will never forgive Russia for, though, as if I know Russia. They sent the first dog to space.
And he died.
But yes, almost immediately. So Laika, she died because the internal heating system failed. Because so she basically was stressed out. So she either had a heart attack or burned to death. I'm I just will never forgive Russia for that. That's horrible. Can you imagine sending, actually, depending on the person you ask, some people might want to send Opie to space. But, can you imagine?
Poor
I could
Opie.
never.
Poor Opie. Oh, man. Yeah.
He just started barking. He must have heard us.
Yeah, his ears were ringing. Poor Opie. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I understand, because it is, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of animal testing and things that happens that's not great.
Yeah.
So.
Makes my heart hurt. I care about animals more than humans. So.
Yeah, I understand.
But it would be interesting just to see what, so that was the first era of residential space travel, or I don't know what you would call it, but so what's the next era going to be? It's weird to think about.
I mean, I think the next step is somebody living on a different place.
Living for more than
living
a couple years at a time.
Living on the moon or something, I think, is the next step. because
Hmm.
um, which is a goal,
Yeah.
like to have somebody live on the moon.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a ways off, I think, still. So
Oh, for sure. I think it's quite a ways off.
yeah,
And depending on who you ask, it's unknown whether the US actually went to the moon or not. So,
yeah,
because that's a big conspiracy.
yeah.
But
I mean, I'm
it'll be
pretty.
interesting. Space travel is just so weird to me beyond like video games. The actual concept of it just blows my mind.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like it's very interesting. But
Yeah.
anyway, Nick, this week our topic is the Great Emu Wars, which
Yeah.
I had never heard of this until you mentioned it the other day. And you just showed me
Hmm.
some pictures which are hilarious on Google.
Yes,
Um,
I highly recommend anyone listening go to Google right now and
just type in
type
the
in the
Great
Great
Emu War.
Emu War
Yeah,
and look at the pictures that come up
just hit
because
images
they are
and just scroll down
so
through them because they're
funny. Oh my
hilarious.
God.
Um,
Yeah.
I can't like we can't post them on here really because they're all
Mhm.
copyrighted or whatever, but they're
Yeah.
just comical. Like
You
just scroll down
they're
through them
so
because they're just
funny.
funny.
This
Um,
whole thing, it was like an actual military operation in Australia, but
okay,
it's just so comical. So, okay, so here's what it was.
okay,
So, the Great Emu War, it's a failed 1932 wildlife management military operation in Western Australia. So, literally, soldiers, like machine guns and all, were deployed to try to head off a large population of emus that were damaging crops, like to the point where it was going to massively impact farmers and citizens because this was also pretty soon after the Great Depression and everything. So they
mm-hmm,
were already struggling.
okay,
So you can't have crop damage on top of the Great
yeah,
Depression. But the way that they just, I don't know, it's just hilarious. So, okay, so here's how it started. 1932, Major G.P.W. Meredith, which is a name, um, he had two Lewis guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. And I guess they just were told to go target these emus. But um, the soldiers found out that emus are fast, so you can't really target them very easily. And I guess you can't herd them very well.
no,
So,
because they just run around like frantically. Yeah,
yeah. So it basically says all of the guns were ineffective against the agile birds, is what this like quote is. So, um, the military eventually withdrew on the first attempt because very few emus were actually killed for the amount of ammunition spent.
yeah, okay,
Um, so, and then a second attempt was made. By the end of the second attempt, there were around 1,000 emus confirmed dead, but I guess that was like not even a drop in the bucket compared to like the actual overpopulation issue. So this operation started in November, ended in December.
so it was just a month long. Like this was very
Yeah,
short lived. Okay,
yeah. So it was so widely mocked in the press of Australia, but also just I think like all over the world because you had like limited world news at this point. Um, and oh, they just got absolutely obliterated in the press. And I just love this quote. This event highlighted the difficulty of managing large wildlife populations with military force. So funny. So this was in Western Australia. The Royal Australian Artillery, which that's a name, they were the ones who were assigned to this, and it was just a massive failure. But this led me down a rabbit hole of like, first of all, I barely knew what emus were to begin with. Like I
it's
knew what emus were,
it's kind of like
but
an
I
ostrich. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's not like obviously anything we have here. They're native to Australia. So there's three subspecies, I guess, and there's also a couple of species of emus that are like now extinct that lived in Tasmania, which fun fact, growing up, I didn't think Tasmania was a real place.
Okay.
Now I know better. But I guess there was a species that lived there and they're now extinct. But I guess the reason they have issues with them is because, over the course of a year, they'll migrate around, to find food and water
Hmm.
depending on the temperature and everything going on. And so they can be considered, so they're a native species, but in some areas they're considered vermin and actually like extremely destructive to wheat crops specifically. So
Okay.
they're known to like trample fences, um, and then they dig holes and everything when they eat the crops, which again, I guess then creates even more damage because their holes lead other animals to do even more damage, like rabbits and things. So,
Okay.
um, they also will just trample anything nearby, fences, small buildings, like anything to get to the food they want to get to. So I guess they're extremely destructive, which is why they sent the military against them.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess when you have that problem, you just try. And back then, they just tried what like they tried
Hmm.
that. That
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
number one thing is like, oh, what are we gonna do? Well, let's send in the military, and then that's
Yeah,
probably
because
the
the
only thought
farmers were
process.
like
Yeah.
having issues because I guess it was legal for the farmers to shoot them if they were destroying property and things, but they just couldn't keep up
Yeah.
and were so ineffective against them. So it's just hilarious how so this is now known as the Great Emu War
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a mockery of how extremely stupid this was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This has happened a lot in history. I feel like especially the
Yeah.
wildlife management thing, because I think Australia also had an issue with rabbits. Like they did something where they put like rabbits into the population and they overbred and then they just had a
Yeah.
rabbit problem. I don't I want to say that was in Australia, but it's like
Hmm.
this is like I'm sure this happens in a lot of places. I'm sure it's happened
Yeah.
in the US
Well,
too.
and
Like,
we have to give Australia a little bit of credit. Like, it's a massive
oh, it's a
continent and
huge
country. It's
area
the
place.
only continent that is also a country.
Yeah.
They have more varieties of wildlife than like hardly anywhere else. I don't know the exact stat, but it's crazy high. So the fact that the emus were considered the victors of this war is it extremely silly? Yes, but also Australia has a lot of issues with wildlife in general, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, it's a yeah. It's funny though. It is funny
Mhm.
to hear that the birds beat the military in in a
Yes. And now
war.
they're a protected species, so I guess the era of overpopulation is
Something
over because
something killed them.
and
Yeah.
yeah, in 1990 as of 1999, they're now a protected species.
Yeah. Something killed them. I don't know
Hmm.
what. I you know what if I had to guess this was 19 when did this happen?
1999 was when they were declared
No, no, no. When
protected.
when was the war?
Oh, 1932.
1932.
Hmm.
Um, if I had to guess what probably killed a bunch of them off, my guess would be roadkill.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe not.
Um,
Maybe there's another like animal that's been killing them or
oh, I
disease, but
guess. Okay, I did not even see this when I initially was reading through this. I guess after the Emu War failed, the government introduced a bounty system for farmers to hunt
oh,
emus. So and it does say this proved far more effective than the military effort.
yeah,
So
because if you
that
pay
could have been part of
if
it.
you pay somebody to kill them, there will be people that go out and kill. There will be people that find ways
Yeah.
to kill them. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it says in the decade following the Emu War, the bounty system ended with hundreds of thousands of emus killed.
Yeah.
So
That's not
that's pretty
surprising.
wild.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, and it says also natural predators. So dingoes and wedge-tailed eagles are known to be predators. And the eggs and young chicks are especially vulnerable to a wider range of predators, including goannas. What is a goanna? There's so many things that I don't know about Australia. Oh, I guess it's a reptile. And they steal the eggs.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, I guess the Emu War may not have worked, but it led to something that did work a little too well. So
A
now,
bounty
now it's
system.
now it's a problem. So now it's a
Mm,
problem on the other end of the spectrum. So it's
yeah.
tends to be how that seems to work. So,
Yeah.
um,
Mhm.
yeah. Is that
Yeah.
it?
So
Are we ready
very
for
interesting.
facts? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is this a
Yeah. That's all I got.
really short
That's all I got
episode?
on the Emu War.
Okay, Nick. Fact.
Okay. My fact is that kangaroos and emus cannot walk backwards, which is why they were chosen for the Australian coat of arms because they symbolize a country that is always moving forward.
That's really cheesy.
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, and of course, that's according to Google. So, I mean, that could be true. But I thought it was interesting if it is true.
That is interesting. I mean, I kind of figured that kangaroos couldn't really walk backwards with the tail and everything, like how they're kind of shaped
Yeah.
and their feet. Emus surprises me a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, Emus are the fastest land bird in Australia, being able to run up to 31 miles an hour,
Hmm.
which is not as fast as I expected because I thought it was a little faster than that. I thought it was
31
closer
miles
to
an hour.
40. But 30 still move like that's still booking it.
That's still pretty
That's
fast.
still booking it. Um, they're about 6 foot to about 6 feet tall, so they're about my height, which is yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
big
that's pretty
bird,
tall.
and about 100 and can range between 60 and 120 pounds, which is also not as big as I thought they were. So I guess they're smaller because
Hmm.
I thought ostriches were bigger than that.
Yeah, I think ostriches are pretty large. So going back to what you said about the running,
Yeah,
so I just
ostriches.
looked
Okay,
up.
so ostriches are 9 feet tall, 300 pounds, and can run 45 miles an hour. So an
Oh
emu
wow, so
is
emus are smaller.
emus are much smaller than an ostrich. I was gonna say
Interesting.
I thought they were a little closer to the same size, but emus are a
Mm.
good amount smaller than an ostrich. But I
Yeah.
always think of ostriches and emus about the same size, and I always think of ostriches as being huge. But apparently,
Hmm.
ostriches are a significant amount larger than an emu. But
Hmm.
okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yay,
I just looked
facts.
at, so you said that they run 30 miles an hour. That's what
Yeah,
you said,
that right
right?
about that. That's what it says.
So Usain Bolt's average race speed is 23 miles an hour, but his top race speed was 27.78. So
We're still beating
emus are
Usain.
faster than
Yeah.
Usain Bolt.
Okay. We're still beating him.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's booking it. 30 miles an hour is still moving. Like,
Yeah.
uh, but it's not, because like I said, I thought I could remember ostriches I thought were like 40 or something, which 45
Hmm.
is what Google says. So,
Yeah,
and
which is crazy.
I thought emus were around that same thing, but apparently not. It's just, and like, that might be because they're a little smaller too.
Smaller.
But anyway, I think that
Yeah.
is about it for this week then. Hope you guys enjoyed
Yep.
this short episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. If you didn't like what we had to talk about, then, leave us a comment and let us know what else you want us to talk about. Do go on to Google and image search the Emu Wars because
Yes.
it is fun.
Hmm.
Just some of the pictures are just wild. But anyway, we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.